Michigan takes out Ohio State despite throwing for just 62 yards as Ohio State has lost to Michigan 4 straight times. So, JB, I got to ask you this. I know my answer. Should Ryan Day be fired after this season?
Yes.
4 straight times, JB.
I know. I think I've been saying this for how long? I think I'm the only one that's been actually saying this for a while. Haven't I been the one? And you were like, everybody's like, nah, come on, JB. He wins 10 games a year. I go, yeah, I get it. But I believe that Smitty, myself, Shaun King, Matt McChesney, we could all win 10 games at Ohio State. I'm just being honest, homie. You have a $40 million roster. Okay, just to be clear, it's supposed to be the highest paid roster in football history in the NIL era in the first 6 years or whatever. $40 million. Urban Meyer is on record saying this is the best roster ever. And then you got a hubcap on a Lamborghini because your quarterback's garbage. And I've been telling you that for how long now on this show? But what do I know? You cannot lose a game to a Michigan team that is 6-5 or whatever without an offense that can score over 10 points a game in Michigan all year long, who has no quarterback, who's been through 3, has no semblance of an offense that is now in the era of college football. No explosion, no explosive players, no explosive plays. And you muster up 10 points after Smitty, hold on, it gets better. You went out and hired Chip Kelly. You went out and hired Chip Kelly as your OC, and that was supposed to be the best OC ever. And I'm gonna go fire my old guy and go bring in Chip Kelly, and then you scored 10 fucking points.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
It's called a fireable offense. And you cannot lose to this Michigan team. I get losing to Michigan here and there and all that.
Right.
But when we rewind, Smitty, to the guy that said this roster, did Urban Meyer set this up? Did Urban Meyer set Ryan Day up so he could go back and be the head coach at Ohio State? He said Ryan Day had the best roster he's ever seen. Do you know what Urban Meyer's record was versus Michigan, Smitty?
What was it?
7-0.
Listen.
7-0, homie.
Shout out to Urban Meyer, man. My name Bennett, I ain't in it. But I will say this. Ryan Day should be fired. But the only way he can maintain his job is if Ohio State wins the Natty. That's the only way. They have to win the national championship this year. The first team in the 12-team playoff era to go out there and win the national title is the only way, in my opinion, that Ryan Day can save his job. Because losing against Michigan for Ohio State is damn near like losing the Natty. Like Michigan right now, they're excited. They're 7-5 record. They're bowl eligible when they beat Ohio State. They're living on cloud 9 right now. Just secured a 5-star quarterback, gave him like $11 million. They feeling good right now. Ohio State, Ryan Day, he's in that office stressed out, probably smoking a stick, and he don't even smoke. So the only way for them to survive is to win this national title. If he don't, Ryan Day's out of there for every reason that JB just said.
And then we're back to my take. We're back to the whole thing of being watered down. Everyone deserves a trophy. Do you know that there's a high school in California that went 0-10 this year in football? 0-10. St. Augustine, San Diego, St. Augustine. They went 0-10. And they won the whole CIF championship.
So explain to me real quick, and people who are not from Cali, right? So like, what division or what class are they in? I'm just curious. Like, are they in the top class? Or are they in the? I'm just curious. What?
I don't know. It don't matter.
Okay, it do matter a little bit, but
it don't matter at all because you went 0-10. You went 0-10, so your season's over.
But context matters. Like, was it injury? Was the quarterback down all year? He got back healthy. Was it?
Don't matter. When does that start to matter? When we went 0-10, when we played, you're 0-10. Season's over.
Well, listen, listen, you ain't gonna like this, but in Indiana, all the teams make the playoffs. So I'm used to that.
That's why. Fuck.
I'm used to that.
That's why. That's why. No, that makes sense. Everybody should be apologizing to Smitty right now.
the top dogs are going to come off on top at the end of the day. Warren Central, Carmel, Ben Davis, Center Grove, the top dogs will come off on top. Like, I don't understand that. To me,
you don't have that many. See, we got a million schools that play.
Right. It's a little different. Yeah.
So you got to understand. One of my former players went 1-9 and won the CIF2 in another division.
I hear you. Listen.
And look, one of my partners, one of my OGs you've met, is like, JB, how is it bad and woo. And we got into it this morning. I'm like, before the show even, I'm like, what do you mean? The good teams couldn't beat you. You went 0-10. 10 teams beat you. What do you mean? What they do, Smitty, is you go 0-10. Now they go by some fucking everyone deserves a trophy-ass shit. So you go 0-10. They put you in some shit division where now you're in this division and you go and win 4 games in a row against this even shittier teams in a smaller classification, and you win a CIF championship. Here's my point to this.
Bring it back full circle. Ohio State, Michigan, 12-team playoffs. Bring it back full circle.
You lose to Michigan, who's mid as best this year. You lost to the good team you had an opportunity to beat in Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
You won't even get to play Oregon in your own conference title game. Penn State now is taking the conference title game, which you beat head-to-head. You beat Penn State, Ohio State.
Yep.
But you're not even representing the conference in a title game. And now we're going to say, go win a natty and then save your job? To me, that's watered down shit. Everyone deserves a trophy. Yeah, homie, you didn't even win your conference.
Okay, they're 10
You should not be in the playoffs, is my point.
Man. See, that's what we disagree.
See, that's my point. Because
do your eyes work? Do your eyes work, Jason? Do your eyes work, Jason?
Yeah, they do. They have no quarterback.
So you know Ohio State's one of the most talented teams in the college football. They lost 2
games. They're not.
Games, homie.
They're not.
Man, stop. Okay.
They lost to Michigan, homie.
If you believe that, it's rivalry weekend, JB. You know all hell breaks loose in rivalry.
I don't
Anything
care.
happen during rivalry weekend.
No, not really. Not really.
You ain't never said that before. You've never said that before. You always go into a rivalry weekend like, hey, like you never like, come on, bro.
Urban Meyer 7 times on rivalry week 1. What was he called? He called it ass whipping week. Urban
Meyer's in a different.
He called it ass whipping week. No, that's just what we do, homie. That's what we do. When Pete Carroll was at USC, he beat UCLA. He called it ass whipping week.
Why are you naming the all-time greats?
It wasn't rivalry. You know what I'm saying? This is where you guys got
naming the all-time greats, JB. You named Pete Carroll, Urban Meyer. Who you gonna name next? Nick Saban? You're naming the four horsemen right now. What are you talking about? Bear Bryant? Who you naming next?
Hold on, though. You just said out of your mouth that this is the most loaded roster. And you just lost to Michigan.
I said it's one of the most talented rosters in college football. One of the most. That's what I said.
Okay, so you're just gonna put them in the playoff, even though the fact of the matter is, on the gridiron they lost, and you're still gonna put them in and give them a trophy?
They lost 2 games. They're 10-2, baby.
They're not even the conference. They're not even the representative in the conference title game.
Let me ask you this, Jason. Because your eyes work.
Don't call me Jason.
What's the difference, Jason, between college football and NFL for you? Because in NFL, a team can go out there and go 10-7, 9-8, or whatever the case may be, like the New York Giants, get hot, go on a run, and go beat the damn undefeated Patriots, and we love it. It's a great story, right? But when it comes to college, you want perfection. And it's like if a motherfucker loses, they have one blemish, it's a wrap. Take them out. They don't deserve to be there. It's like, no, I want the best teams to be there, point blank.
Can I tell you the difference?
And we understand it. Sometimes you might get an L here and there. So that might happen. But at the end of the day, my eyes work. I want to see Texas. I want to see Ohio State. I want to see Oregon. I want to see the top. I want to see Georgia. I want to see these guys with the best athletes and the best players, the teams that at their best, they are some of the best teams in the nation. I don't want to see these teams that we know Ohio State is better than because Ohio State got a blemish on their record.
The only reason you're saying, see, the narrative's changing, homie, in front of our very eyes, because this is why I told you addition by subtraction and more is less before they made this 12-team playoff. This is why I'm one of the only guys that says I hate it. I don't want to see it. It's right to what you just said. You are only discussing this right now because there's 12 teams. Because can we just be real? If this is the real competitive era of college football, and this is the true era, which is either BCS or the 4 playoffs that we've been seeing for the last 20 years, Ohio State's out, homie. Ohio State's not in the playoff today, Smitty, and you and I know it.
And that's bad for college football.
It's not bad for football. It's good. I used to want to see the best four.
Fans been pissed because we know certain teams should be in there that's not in there.
I want to see the best teams, homie.
Man, cat.
Smitty, let's be honest.
You want TCU in the 14, right? Right.
Cap. You want to fucking see UNLV get in the playoff, homie?
You want the undefeated TCU.
No wonder everybody in Indiana allows everybody.
You liked it when TCU got into the 14 playoffs, right? You liked that, didn't you? You liked when TCU got in there and got their ass blew the fuck out in the playoff because they didn't deserve to be there. They didn't earn to be there. I don't care what their record are. My eyes work, homie. My eyes work.
Now you don't matter. Now you don't care what your record is. So you can lose and get in for your point, but TCU goes and does their job in the season and gets in the Final Four and they get blown out. They don't deserve it.
My eyes work. Hold on, JB. No. Don't try to win the
argument. That's the biggest hypocritical take I've ever heard, homie.
So gun to your head, JB. Gun to your head that season. If I asked you, JB, you know football. Is TCU a top 4 team in the nation? Gun to your head, lie to take the test. If you lie, you're gone. You're done. You mean to tell me you would have told me that, yes, TCU and your honest football brain was the top 4 team in the country?
No.
Okay, then. So,
but I'm being honest though. So
okay, I agree. I agree.
So Georgia should have missed last year too?
No.
Oh, but that was the 4, homie. Florida State, you thought should have got in. They had no quarterback. But Georgia got left out. Georgia got left out. It doesn't matter what I thought.
That's why
they made the playoff. They finished in the top 4.
That's why I like the 12.
I know. I'd rather see a guy deserve the fucking thing. So what are we playing the game for, Smitty? Can I answer you? Can I ask the question? Because I'm on Lane Kiffin's side. Why are we playing these games then? Just for shits and giggles? So South Carolina, who got mud stomped by Ole Miss head-to-head, just leaped Ole Miss in the rankings. Now make it make sense. Why are we playing the games then? Because Ole Miss beat South Carolina head-to-head, homie. And now South Carolina just fucking leapfrogged them. So how does this even matter? Why are we playing the games then? If TCU was a top 4 team that year, which they deservingly were, they get in the playoff. They get mud stomped, and it's on them. Florida State went undefeated last year, Smitty, and got into a bowl game that meant absolutely nothing and got fucking drugged 64-0. That's cost them this year too. So this is why it's watered down.